Look, racism is not okay by any means, right? It's not acceptable. We shouldn't promote it. We shouldn't even give it a chance, right? And what I mean by giving a chance is that I don't know if anybody has heard this story, but it happened over the summer, but I wanted to bring it back because I didn't hear it when it first started back in July. But back in July in preseason, the English Premier League team, Wolverhampton Wanderers, Wolves, in other case, played Como in the friendly game. And there was a lot of controversy within that game regarding Marco Curto, a player from Como. If you don't know what Como is Fabregas' team that he recently took over in Italy, who have been recently promoted to the Serie A. And so one of Wolves' players, hwang-hee reported that he was being racially abused by one of the Como players, Marco Curto. This is Marco Curto right here. Nobody knows who this guy is. He's a complete nobody. I don't expect you to know who this guy is. I never knew who he was until I was reading more into this story. But according to Wang Hee-chan, and according to the statement that Como later released after the incident, Marco made a very racist comment towards Hwang Hee-chan in the second half of the game. And what Marco said in regards to Hwang Hee-chan, he said, and I quote, "Ignore him, he thinks he's Jackie Chan." Now, obviously, this is very racist. There's no denying that, right? You would think that it's clearly racist, but according to Como, in their most recent statement, they were very strongly defending Marco Curto and his comment, which is very surprising. This is a very immature, and it kind of caught me off guard how Como came out with this statement and reacted to it. So let me show you the statement that they came up with. It says here, "Our club does not tolerate racism and condemns all forms of it in the strongest possible way. We spoke to the defender in question to understand what was said, Marco Curto. He told us that the comment he made to his co-defender was to ignore him. He thinks he's Jackie Chan. Having spoken to our player at length, we are confident this was in reference to the player's name and to the constant references of Channy made by his own teammates on the pitch. As far as our club is concerned, our player did not say anything in a derogatory manner. We are disappointed that the reaction of certain Wolves players has seen the incident blown out of proportion." They are essentially saying that Marco didn't say anything racist, and that the fact their excuse for why Marco made this comment about Hwang Hee-chan thinking that he's Jackie Chan is because Hwang Hee-chan's teammates were calling him Channy as a nickname. So that in Marco's head, he's like, "Oh, they're calling him Channy. He thinks he's Jackie Chan." And the club is saying, "Well, this is not anything racist. This is not anything derogatory. Wolves are taking this out of proportion." Are you insane? Are you genuinely insane? Are you not right in the head? This is racism. This is pure racism. And for the club to come out with this statement has 7.5 million views on Twitter. This was posted July 16, 2024. And the only reason why I'm bringing this back up, right? The only reason why this story is being resurfaced is that rightfully so, this defender is being given a 10-match ban by FIFA. Hwang's teammate Daniel Podence was sent off for punching. Literally, he punched a player. Don't know if it was Marco, but I'm assuming that it was. It doesn't say who he punched. But Podence was then later off sent off for punching a Como player. Wolves complained to the Italian Football Federation and to UEFA, which said it was powerless to act because it was not a UEFA match because it was a friendly game. But the Korean Football Association got involved and then they reported it to FIFA. And then after what? July, August, September, October, after 3 months, FIFA finally gave, after further investigation, FIFA finally sanctioned Marco Curto for 10 games. He's suspended for 10 games. Serving of half of those matches is suspended for a probation period of 2 years. and the player is ordered to render community service and undergo training and education with an organization approved by FIFA. So he's going to have to go through training about racism and not to discriminate and things like that. Marco's only 25 years old, and he actually was sent out on loan a week after this Wolves game. I just don't understand this entire situation, right? Like this entire situation in terms of how does Como defend their player like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you always defend your people, right? You always defend your players, no matter the situation. But if your player just outright said, ignore him, he thinks he's Jackie Chan to an Asian player who has the last name Chan, who his teammates called Channy, it's racism. It's literally pure textbook definition racism. And it took 3.5 months for FIFA to come up with the sanction. I mean, like they finally did it. They finally did it. But I just don't understand like why shit like this is happening. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Hwang-hee Chan posted on Instagram this image that I'll show you right here. It says racism is intolerable in sports and in all aspects of life. After the incident, the coaching staff and my teammates immediately told me that they would leave the field with me if needed, and they kept checking on my well-being. I am very grateful to my teammates once again. Despite all of this, I wanted to carry on, and we did what we had to do on the pitch. They ended up winning 1-0 for that game. Lastly, thank you to everyone who sent me supportive messages. There is no room for racism, and you have a couple of players and other Asian or South Korean celebrities who commented on him. I'm pretty Huming Sun. I saw his post. Even Wolves commented on his post. It's insane. It's genuinely crazy to me how Como just didn't think anything of it. They thought that Wolves blew this whole situation out of proportion, which is the complete opposite of what a club needs to do in this case. You need to fine your player. You as a club need to punish your player. Now, they could have probably sent him on loan just to get away from the club and go to a different club and kind of clear or kind of like sweep this under the rug a little bit. Maybe that's why he went on loan. I just wanted to talk about that. There's just no room for racism, and it just really has to stop. I mean, like, the player Marco Curto had no right to make that comment toward Hwang Hee-chan, right? And the fact that he did, the fact that he thought it was okay, the fact that the club thinks it's okay, and that it's not derogatory at all is an embarrassment to football. It's an embarrassment to their club. They should be ashamed of themselves, and they really need to sort out whatever's happening over there, whether that's in the locker room. Like something needs to be sorted out, whether it's in the media department, the board of directors. Something needs to be sorted because there's no way they made an official statement backing their guy saying that it wasn't derogatory. It's not that hard. Just don't be fucking racist. Thank you.